ESPN as the Arizona Rattlers, 12-2 during the regular season and #1 seed coming into the playoffs, take on the #8 seed, the Milwaukee Mustangs. The war of words actually began several days ago when Milwaukee wide receiver Skip Stewart gave Arizona a little something for their bulletin board. He told the USA Today, if they worry about me the whole game, our other receivers will blow them out of the water. If they play a lot of man coverage, I am sure we will beat them bad. Now, while you're saying, what is he thinking about? Well, maybe chalk it up to youthful exuberance. Skip at 21, the youngest player in the league. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Adamley along with Mike Golick. Glad you could join us as the playoffs do begin here on ESPN. Tonight, #1 versus #8. And, Mike, let's cut to the chase. The game is going to be decided by which quarterback is the most efficient and which offensive line does the best job of pass protection. That being said, that's where the Arizona Rattlers excel.
Boy, they certainly do. Cedric Bonner has been sacked 0 times this year. Here's why. Look at the ends pushed up the field. Notice the fullback able to step up into the pocket, take on the linebacker. That gives Cedric Bonner a chance to step up into the pocket. There's nobody in his face, nobody near him. Easy throw for the touchdown. A little earlier, I spoke with pass rush specialist from Milwaukee, Ralph Jarvis, and I asked him, will you whisper into Ced's ear if you're the first one to sack him?
No, because if I whisper anything, you know, it's not going to be right because I hope I'm going to take him out, and that's going to be the end of it, so he's not going to be able to hear too much. That's my little prediction. We're going to win this game. We've got no choice. You know, this is it.
Well, this is the third meeting between these two teams. Arizona has won both contests. The Milwaukee Mustangs have won the toss. They will receive. Arizona won back in June at the Bradley Center 47-40, and they won here in July. The man who makes the Arizona offense go, Calvin Schexnayder. Anthony Brenner kicking off for the 12-2 Rattlers. Back deep, the man who made those quotations, Skip Stewart, one of the most dangerous return men in the league. And Brenner drives that ball out of the end zone, touchback. Todd Hamill, the 6-year veteran, talking to his head coach, Mike Trigg. As he goes, so go the Mustangs. Had his best season as a pro, 44 touchdowns, just 17 interceptions. The Arena Football League's career active passing leader. David Andrews, the motion man, #4. Hamill with time. He's got Gary Compton, first down. We talked about Skip Stewart, #28, the 2nd-year pro. Never played high school or college football, but he has turned into a real arena threat, over 1,400 yards of all-purpose yardage. He can do it receiving the ball, kickoff returns, missed field goal returns, as you look at the rest of the Milwaukee Mustang offense. Defensively for the Rattlers, Cedric Walker, the leading tackler in the Arena Football League. Broke the record for season tackles 2 weeks ago against Albany. On 1st and 10, Hamill's throw intended for Stewart, incomplete.
You know, talking to both coaches yesterday, I asked them, okay, this is going to be a thinking game. They both agree to that. When will this game settle down into game plans? They figure somewhere 5-6 minutes into the game, let both teams get their first series in, see how their defense, and then they'll play their game plan off of that.
This is Milwaukee's 2nd consecutive playoff appearance. They lost last year to Albany in the first round, 79-58. Hamill on 2nd and 10 has Stewart for a gain of about 7. Arizona's coach Danny White, a legend here in these parts. 6th year, the only head coach and general manager in the team's history.
Yeah, there's no doubt this guy runs the show. You talk to him before games, after games. He is the decision maker. He has his array of people around him that help him, but make no mistake, this team is run by Danny White.
And when they won the Arena Bowl back in 1994, they did it on the road. They would like to do it here in the friendly confines of America West Arena. 3rd and less than a yard to go for Milwaukee. Hamill will take it himself. He's got the first down, but a flag down on the play.
He tried the hard count at first to get the free first down, the 3 yards and the easy first. Let's see if it worked. And it did. Both coaches said they're going to try that a little bit tonight. They said they hate to see teams jump off sides, but they're going to use
offside. 99 defense. 3-yard penalty. The penalty is enough for a first down.
Here you see it's just a hard count. Freeze motion. You see the high motion. He stops. They go an extra count. That gets the defensive lineman to jump across the line. Boom, the center snaps the ball. Easy 3 yards.
One thing we've seen played out so far in this first drive of Milwaukee, it is a time-consuming drive, and that's what head coach Mike Trigg wants. Keep Arizona's potent offense off the field. A pitch to David Andrews. One man gets him in the backfield and can't hang on. That was number 99, Brian Hooks. Gain of about 4 for Andrews.
Brian Hooks did a nice job. Almost turned that in. Andrews just able to get the corner and pick up 4 or 5 yards.
Be ready, Dave, for the quick one. Just right. We motion back, 90 trail. Home one, ready?
All right, you heard a quick one. 90 is a 3-step drop. Anytime you get a 3-step drop, it's going to be a quick pass. Look for a quick hitch throw.
And the slot man, David Andrews, told by Hamill, be awake, buddy. He was. He's got the first down inside the 5, down at about the 1-yard line.
And already tempers flaring a little bit. There is no love lost with these two teams. The last time they played here at America West earlier in the year, 2 guys thrown out, Bob McMillan for Arizona and Garrett Greedy, who is inactive tonight, both thrown out. A little bit of bad blood with these guys. Good play call here by Trigg. Gets him backing off in coverage a little bit. Just runs the slant right underneath the go route. We'll talk a lot about strategy tonight. We had a chance to sit down with both coaches a lot yesterday, and there's a lot of thinking going in this game that we'll explain throughout.
1st and goal, Milwaukee from inside the 1. Andrews, the motion man. They give it to the 2nd leading rusher in the league, Lincoln Coleman. Spent a couple of seasons with the Dallas Cowboys backing up Emmitt Smith.
Well, you know, you always say when you get into the playoffs, you like to have playoff experience. This guy's got a Super Bowl ring in the NFL. I would say that constitutes a little bit of playoff experience. Had to learn a little bit of defense now, though. Found out in the Arena League he can't just tote the ball anymore. Now he's got to go on defense and tackle the guys who are hitting him.
Of the 82 touchdowns that Milwaukee has scored this year, 32 of them, or 35 of them, have been on the ground. And there's number 36, Todd Hamill, keeping it himself. And so Milwaukee takes their opening drive 45 yards and punches it in from the 1-yard line.
Now, this is a planned play. You know, you don't just think they missed the snap and the quarterback ends up going into the end zone. It's called a basic run play, like a 34, and they call load. What they do is he lets Lincoln Coleman run in front of him to be the lead blocker, and then Hamill just goes behind him and uses his running back as the blocker, so it is a planned play.
One of your old teammates, too, Ricky Shaw, doing a nice job of blocking number 93. On to kick the extra point. Kenny Stucker, the first player ever signed by the Mustangs, having another stellar season after an all-arena year in 1996, but that one, he hooks it left. That is about the 4th time this year I have jinxed the kicker in the Arena Football League. You're watching the playoff coverage here on ESPN.
Welcome back to the MBNA Visa All-Star.
ESPN's coverage of the Arena Football League is brought to you by MBNA America, the official credit card of the Arena Football League, and by Pearl Vision. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl. Kenny Stucker kicking off for the Milwaukee Mustangs after they took their opening drive 45 yards, capped off by a 1-yard Todd Hamill touchdown run. Ball is loose on the ensuing kickoff.
You see Milwaukee, what they want to do, they want a low-scoring game. They want long scoring drives, and they started out just what they wanted with Hamill finish it off on a 1-yard touchdown run. Interesting enough, Mike, 10 rushing touchdowns for Hamill this year, but in all, in rushing, he's only gained 1 yard all year. But he's got 10 rushing touchdowns. because when he's sacked, that counts against him for rushing yards.
And the most important thing about that last Milwaukee drive, it took 7 plays. So Arizona begins on offense. And the main man, Cedric Bonner, his first pass incomplete, intended for Randy Gatewood. What did Cedric have to say about tonight's playoff game? Let's listen in.
Yeah, they're a very physical team, and we have to come out and be just as physical, if not more, and let them know that they're not going to try and come in and intimidate us in our house, and we just have to be physical with them.
Well, very few teams intimidate the Rattlers here at America West Arena. The last time they lost was May 1st against Tampa Bay, their season opener. They haven't lost since. Bonner on 2nd and 10. He's got Gatewood and a first down. And of course, offensively for Arizona, 2 weeks ago we saw him have a huge game against Albany. Calvin Schexnayder. This year he had 7 touchdown receptions in 1 game, 16 catches against San Jose. Defensively, the main man, Ralph Jarvis, all arena in 95 and 96, and he will be primarily responsible for staying in his lane, but also pressuring Bonner, if not getting to him outright. 1st and 10, Arizona, their first possession. They trail by 6. Bonner with time, going deep. Shakes is open. He wants the interference call. He's not going to get it. Wayne Wade on the coverage. Maybe Milwaukee's best defender.
And he is their best defender, and that's why he is guarding Calvin Schexnayder, the best receiver for this Arizona team. The important thing in this game, remember, Cedric Bonner has not been sacked all year. They've got to get pressure on him. He gets a little bit at the end of the play. Here's the defensive play at the end. Looks like Wayne's left hand might have been on Calvin's right shoulder, but when it's that close, let the guys decide it. No need to throw the flags. Let the players decide the game.
Wade 4th in the league in passes broken up. Bonner again. Quick drop. Pass intended for Schexnayder. Wade on the coverage again.
Well, if you want to keep score at home, that's Wayne Wade 2. Calvin Schexnayder nothing right now, but the last game of the season, we saw what Calvin Schexnayder can do. 7 touchdown receptions, 244 yards, all team records, won a league record for receiving touchdowns. This guy can do it all. This is what he did in the 2 games against Milwaukee. Wayne Wade right now, I know it's very early, but not backing off a bit.
And not about to rest on his laurels, early laurels. Schexnayder, the man in motion for Arizona. Bonner going for him again. This time he's open. This time he gets the flag. This time it's a successful touchdown reception. They went to him on 3 straight occasions. The 3rd time was the charm.
I tell you what, that is Danny White right there. Listen, you want to knock down 2 of my guys' passes, we're going to keep going at you. Don't think you've intimidated us. Don't think we're going to back off.
Contact. Number 17. Penalties received. Touchdown.
As you hear the call, it was an illegal use of the hands on Wayne Wade, who had just made 2 great plays on Calvin Schexnayder. Here we're going to see it coming right into your living room. He's going to cross right over the middle of the field. Coming right at you. The penalty already done. A great job of laying out for the ball and hanging on.
Brenner on to attempt the extra point. It is up. It is good. And the Arizona Rattlers have the lead. 5:56 remaining here in the first quarter. Arizona leads it by 1. Back here at America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, the Rattlers have taken a 1-point lead over Milwaukee, courtesy of this touchdown pass.
And again, you see nobody was around Cedric Bonner there. It's a wide open. Calvin Schexnayder lays out for the ball. Again, we go back to protection, and look at this drive. There was a couple of 10-yard plays and a couple of bombs, both to this man.
And a man who keeps getting better with age. 1997, his best season yet. Over 1,500 yards receiving and 29 touchdowns.
Those 29 touchdown receptions smashed the record of 15, which he shared with Hunky Cooper. Now he is in sole possession.
It's like tugging on Superman's cape, though. Do not make this man angry. Wayne Wade had 2 nice pass deflections, and the 3rd time he was burnt bad.
And that goes back to Danny White. Milwaukee came down with a long drive and scored. Danny White says, I'm going to try and score quick on you.
Another squirrely kick by Anthony Brenner. It's ruled a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 5-yard line. And that's where the Milwaukee Mustangs will begin their 2nd possession.
Now what's going to happen here is there is a railing that goes behind those nets where they kick it off. And if the ball hits into the net and goes back and bounces off that railing you see there, they're going to call it a touchback. You see the railing right behind the net. So if it bounces into the net and comes off, he's just going to stop play. You see it goes off, coming off the net, right off the railing. They're just going to stop play right there and call it a touchback.
Well, the last time Milwaukee started this from this position, they went 45 yards in 7 plays. Hamill hits Skip Stewart, 1st down Mustangs. And we are going to see that combination many times tonight.
And it'll be very interesting to see if Skip Stewart gets a little bit of extracurricular on him after the plays are over for some of the comments he made before the game. Right now you see Arizona playing backed off in a little bit of zone coverage, kind of staying back, giving them the underneath routes right now. Expect Danny White to move his guys up. Doug Kay, defensive coordinator, to get a little in their face pretty soon.
Gain of 13 on the last play, 1st and 10 from the Milwaukee 19. Stewart, the motion man. Hamill pumps in his direction and then goes in the other way towards David Stewart. He had it momentarily. Did he have it long enough? The official says yes, touchdown. 31-yard touchdown pass, Todd Hamill to David Andrews. But was it?
What a play, and Andrews was getting bounced. They are signaling touchdown. Andrews was getting bounced off the wall the whole way down by Herb Duncan, who was in coverage. But as we saw Cedric Bonner do to make his receiver lay out, Hamill's done the same thing. Great job of Andrews leaving his feet and hanging on when he came down. Well, he had possession when he crossed the goal line. He crossed that imaginary plane with possession. That's why it was a touchdown.
This time, Stucker's kick is good, and the Milwaukee Mustangs looking for the upset. They're seeded number 8. They lead 13-7. The upstart Milwaukee Mustangs leading Arizona, the number 1 seed, coming into the playoffs 13-7 here in the 1st quarter.
We're going to see this long pass, Hamill to Andrews. What the question is and what Arizona was saying is the ball popped out when he hit the ground. But notice he has possession when he crosses the goal line in the air. He has possession of it. He breaks that imaginary plane. That's a touchdown. The ground cannot cause a fumble or the ball to come out.
And for David Andrews, his 12th touchdown reception of the year. 45th touchdown pass of the season for Todd Hamill. Seen very little in the way of returns tonight. Both kickers, Anthony Brenner and this man, Kenny Stucker, doing a nice job of using the nets effectively and placing the ball right where they want it.
What a great drive by Milwaukee, taking what Arizona was giving them, throwing underneath, and then knowing Arizona was still back off in that zone, they still went on the hitch and go for the deep pattern. Now this is a team, Michael Trigg, head coach, said, we want long drives, we want to keep the score down some, but hey, every now and then, you got to go for it to keep them honest.
But Bonner and company begin play from their own 5. Cedric Tillman, the motion man. This time they decide to keep it on the ground. Brian Easter giving the ball. Short gain.
Let's go right flip, wing loop again. Let's go down in the middle this time. Let's go rocket 10. Let's go right flip, regular, wing loop, laser 10 on 101. Ready? Up and up.
Right trips. They're going to bring the man in motion out of it.
Check Snyder underneath. First down, Arizona. Bonner going to his bread and butter man.
See Schexnayder in the slot. They see the defenders backed off. A lot of times they're going to read this at the line. These guys have played together so long, they're going to let the wide receivers and Ced Bonner read him at the line, see what the coverage is. A lot of these routes will be read routes based off of what they see out of the coverage guys, and they'll break their routes according.
2 catches tonight for 36 yards and that 1 touchdown reception. Speed, Herb Duncan now in the game. He breaks the tackle, and he is going to go the distance. Herb Duncan just reactivated several weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago. This man, the son of great San Diego Charger wide receiver Speedy Duncan.
What a long route. He was all the way to your right of your screen. He's going to do about a 20-yard curl right to the middle of the field. Shakes off the tackle of Elton Rose. And then watch, you see Cedric Tillman coming into the picture, number 80 for Arizona, trying to throw that downfield block. Lets Duncan cut back across behind him, and then just great hustle to get into the end zone.
Brenner on to attempt the extra point for the Rattlers. It is up, it is good, and Arizona, as we look at the touchdown pass, reception, and run of Herb Duncan. In both Milwaukee and Arizona clicking on all cylinders. That's what we'll be doing tomorrow on ESPN at 1 o'clock Eastern time. It's the NASCAR Butt at the Glen. Jeff Bodine, the defending champion of this race. Mark Martin won in 93, 94, and 95. And the Rattler Rowdies, the best fans in the league, at least attendance-wise. Sort of a fan appreciation night, team appreciation night.
Yeah, the placards were on all the seats as we came in, and the fans willing to use them.
Skip Stewart doing some fancy footwork out of his own end zone, and baby, he's gone. But we've got a flag down in the play. This one's not going to count. They're going to call it back. Ralph Jarvis, number 99, cut Tony Henderson, number 96. Mike Trigg cannot believe the call, but that's the kind of speed and how dangerous Skip Stewart is.
Wow. What a big play against Milwaukee. And let me tell you what Skip Stewart was doing. He did not want to come out of the end zone, Mike, because if you get tackled in the end zone, it's a touchback and the ball comes out. He's waiting for someone to tackle him. All of a sudden, he's like, hey, I've got a lane. I might as well take it. And this guy, they say, is a legit 4'2", 40 guy. Nobody's going to catch him in the open field.
Number 99, receivers. Half the distance to go for the final foul. First down.
That is a big, big mistake against Milwaukee. Ralph Jarvis is the guilty party. You see him laying on Tony Henderson right there. Got called for the hold, as you heard Ralph Jarvis at the beginning of the show saying that he wants to basically put lights out on Cedric Bonner and get that first sack on him. Well, he just cost his team 7 points.
So the Mustangs, trailing by 1 with 51 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, begin this drive from their own 6. And that time, Stewart paid the price, courtesy of Cedric Walker. That was a major league hit.
That one will rattle the house. This coming from the leading tackler in Arena Football League history for 1 year. He broke the record this year, but boy, he was thinking about separating the head from the shoulders. Watch this hit. Great technique. You put your head right in the chest and drive through him, and that's exactly what he did.
And Stewart had those little alligator arms. I don't think he wanted that ball all that much. He's open again, but Hamill chooses to go in David Andrews' direction. And so maybe that's the lift that the Rattlers need, that hit by Cedric Walker.
Darren Kenny, number 58, defensive end, got the block. See him right there up, getting the block. But you're right, Mike. Very well could be, and that was Skip Stewart, the man who did the mouth and off a little bit before the game, just got tattooed.
Well, that's the end of first quarter of play here from America West Arena. The Rattlers leading the Milwaukee Mustangs 14-13. About to begin the second quarter of play here at America West Arena. Arizona leading Milwaukee 14-13. Milwaukee has the ball on their own 7, faced with a 3rd and 10. This may be the critical play early on in the game. All it takes is one stop in the Arena League, and it sometimes spells the difference between winning and losing. Mark this down. Remember that play. Todd Hamill getting sacked or being pressured into a bad throw by number 44, Bob McMillan, and number 10, Flint Fleming.
Completely agree with you. A huge play. Great coverage. It's the coverage sack. He has some time initially, tries to step up, and there's McMillan actually throwing his legs out and tripping him. Hey, when your arms aren't there, use whatever you can to get the man down. A nice job by Bob McMillan. A big, big stop for Arizona.
Well, Kenny Stucker now on to attempt a 58-yard field goal. And it just missed underneath the crossbar. So a key defensive stop for the Arizona Rattlers. You're watching playoff football here on ESPN. 2nd and 4 for Arizona after a Brian Easter 6-yard run. The Rattlers now with the ball after that missed field goal by Stucker. Oh, there it is! They are unbelievable. Bonner the Schexnayder. Touchdown, Arizona.
This is coming an all-too-often connection for the opponents of the Rattlers. Again, we saw Wayne Wade, who was defending again, make 2 beautiful plays in the beginning of the game. Does not make the Rattlers back off one bit. They love the big play. They love going deep. Again, look at the time. He's got plenty of time. The little half roll to his left. Calvin Schexnayder does a smart thing. The ball's hanging in the air. Whoever jumps highest gets it. That time, Calvin Schexnayder, or Shakes as they like to call him, out-jumped Wayne Wade for the ball.
That TD pass went 39 yards. Brenner on to attempt the point after for Arizona. It is up, and it is good again. Brenner 3 for 3. So is Arizona on possessions. 21-13. They lead it here early in the second quarter. ESPN's coverage of the Arena Football League is brought to you by the Discover Car and by Blimpie. It's a beautiful thing. Speaking of beautiful things, Cedric Bonner to Calvin Schexnayder.
Notice again the ball coming down, so whoever jumps highest wins. They teach you that way back in grade school. Catch the ball at its highest point. Calvin Schexnayder able to out-jump Wayne Wade for touchdown number 2 tonight.
And if he didn't have it before the game, he has it now, and that's Wayne Wade's respect. Brenner kicking off. Skip Stewart back deep. Another perfect kick. It hits the bottom of the crossbar, and the ball just died. No return for Stewart. They'll bring it out to the 5.
Well, yeah, even though that touchdown return Skip Stewart had was called back, you still have to respect what he did, and you'd love to keep the ball out of this guy's hands. He is one of the fastest in the league. Danny White knows that as good as anybody else, saying, hey, keep the ball away from him, put it into the stands.
Right, wing motion back 90. Home 1, ready?
First and 10, Milwaukee from their 5. Hamill, a quick toss to Stewart. He can't hang on.
Little plays add up in the end to become big plays. A missed extra point, a holding call on a kickoff return, a drop pass, wide open. 3 mistakes. Just starting the second quarter, these things are going to start to add up because Skip Stewart was wide open.
Stewart is second-year pro, did not play high school nor college football. Was recruited by Milwaukee defensive coordinator Ricky Frazier at Cisco Junior College, but elected to box instead. Penalties all over that play.
We'll wait and see the call on that one. You're right. Skip Stewart, a 29-3 amateur record.
3-time Texas State Golden Glove champion, both as a middleweight and a light heavyweight.
3 yards will get stepped off against Arizona as Todd Hamill does another hard count, and it was effective. And both coaches said, you know, that they hate the amount of penalties going on in arena football, especially the offsides, but it's a tool to be used.
Offside. Defense, number 10. 3-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Funny story, that offside's on Flint Fleming. He came over here. He was in Orlando, then Tampa Bay, now here. They said they want to take his headshot with a prism light in front of it so the jersey can keep changing colors because they're not sure what jersey he's going to be wearing. Been in the league about 40 years.
The human chameleon. He has played 14 of the 16 possible positions, everything but quarterback and kicker. Second down and 6. Gary Compton, that's the first time Todd Hamill has gone in his direction, and he is a major target at 6'2", 205 pounds, 12 touchdowns this season, 67 receptions, and nearly 1,000 yards in pass receptions.
You're going to see the defense of Danny White still playing off. You see him backing off a little bit there. Cecil Doggett backing off. Cedric Walker comes in to clean up, but they're not really challenging Milwaukee yet. No need to right now. They've got an 8-point lead. No need to force the issue. He'll feel when the time's right, he'll come after a little bit, come up on the line, and do some jamming.
3 wide receivers to the right for Milwaukee. Compton, the motion man. They go instead to the short receiver, the guy who curled up, David Andrews, and he gets banged hard that time by Randy Gatewood. The Arizona defenders are making sure that if they catch the ball, the Milwaukee wide receivers are going to pay the price.
Just as you saw Herb Duncan shake off the reception for the touchdown, the Rattlers, when they're on defense, don't want any yards after the catch. You see Andrews catches the ball, takes 1 step, and is met with by Randy Gatewood. He had another great hit a couple of plays ago. They're going to tattoo you, but still notice they're backing off. They're letting Milwaukee have those long drives. They'll let them take time off the clock themselves when they're down by 8 points.
Second down and 3 for the Mustangs. Broken play there. Hamill will keep it himself. Flags littering the field.
They're going to get called for 2 men in motion here. Lincoln Coleman started moving in the backfield just a bit when the motion man was moving.
Got an illegal defense alignment on the nose guard. We have an illegal shift against the offense. The penalty's offset. Replay, second down.
Well, the one on Milwaukee was easy to see because you saw Lincoln Coleman move, but the nose tackle, now he has to line up, as you look at defensive coordinator Doug Kay for the Rattlers, the nose tackle has got to line up head up on the center. And right now, you see him, he is shaded to the right side of the center. He's got to be head up, lined up until the ball is snapped. If he's not helmet to helmet, even if it's just a little bit, they're going to call illegal lineup on the defensive line, and that's what the call. He has to be absolutely square to the center.
Bottom line, we're doing it all again. Second down and 3. Hamill to Andrews, first down, Milwaukee.
Well, Milwaukee right now, you see them, they're taking what Arizona's giving them, but a couple of series ago, the same thing happened, and they went deep on him. David Andrews had the nice touchdown reception. Right now, Danny White, coach for the Rattlers, just happy to play back, let him get down into the red zone, and then tighten up a little bit.
Let's listen to Todd Hamill in the huddle.
Just right. We motion back. 60. D steady double corner. Hold on. Ready?
Oh, you heard the double corner. You'll see 2 of the receivers going to corners of the end zone. And the third receiver will be a short route just in case he needs a hot receiver.
And there's the trips motion right. Compton, the intended receiver. Did he hang on? No! He caught the ball, but he was out of bounds.
Well, there was one corner route. What a great catch by Compton going up. Got it with one hand and then brought it in on the second bounce. But unfortunately, they're going to call this one incomplete. Let's take a look at it. Watch him go up with the one hand. Stays in the air. And it falls out right as he is hitting the ground. Never has complete possession of it while he's in the end zone. Good call by the referee.
Super call. Second and 10. Milwaukee has the ball at the Arizona 17. Hamill. This quick slant to David Andrews. Eludes one tackler, but not Cedric Walker, and a flag down after the ball was whistled dead.
We're going to get a little face mask here added on a bit.
Yes. So before the whistle.
Here's what Milwaukee wants. They say, okay, we're going to throw it short, guys. Try and get those yards after the catch. As you see right there, the face mask is grabbed by Cedric Walker. This is what they haven't done so far as we get a look at the face mask, is they're getting some yards after the catch. Normally, they've been catching the ball. Arizona's been right there with the tackle. Now they're getting a few yards after the catch, and they'll tack it on with the face mask.
At the end of the run, face mask, number 5 defense. That penalty is marked from the end of the run. The penalty will give them a first down.
So it was a 7-yard completion, add the 3-yard penalty from the point of the tackle, and there's your 10 yards for the first down. Now we're in the red zone at the 7-yard line. Look for Arizona to tighten it up, and also look for Milwaukee to possibly start to run the ball a little bit.
7:32 remaining here in the second quarter of play. First and goal from the 7-yard line. Compton, the motion man. Hamill has trouble with the snap. Fleming, number 10, the first to reach him.
And that was going to be a run, and we just talked about it was going to be a pitch to fullback Brad Lacombe. It was going to be a quick pitch, but he bobbles it coming out. Watch, he's going to take it, and he's looking to pitch it to Brad Lacombe, who's breaking out. But he looks too soon, doesn't have control of the ball first. It pops out. Luckily, it pops right to him. Now it's get what you can, or when you see all those black jerseys, get down.
Thing to remember, quarterbacks don't have the same center the entire game. They shift, they obviously switch personnel. It'll be either Arnold Campbell or Ross Centers. This time Campbell is the center, number 77. But Hamill, you expect him, being a veteran, not to have problems with the center exchange, and Cecil Doggett almost picks off that pass.
It's a good point, them having to use a couple of centers. It definitely comes into play, and it can hurt you. Just chalk up another one of those little plays that magnifies into bigger plays. We watch Cecil Doggett on the coverage. He almost comes down with this. Great coverage on Compton, goes up one-handed, tries to pull it in, but the wall's right there. He protects himself with the other hand, never had control of the ball.
Time of possession, definitely in Milwaukee's favor, exactly what Coach Mike Trigg wanted.
But you know what?
They trail on the scoreboard by 8, so
exactly.
It doesn't matter.
And if they're down by 8, then Danny White says, keep the ball as long as you want.
Oh, there it is. Hamill, buried by Bo Kelly, number 2. So another stop for the Arizona D. Kenny Stucker will be forced to try the field goal.
You'll see Bo Kelly come right up the middle. You're going to see Ricky Shaw, number 93, come over and try and put the block on him, because the fullback, Brad Lacombe, had gone and double-teamed one of the linemen because Bo Kelly didn't rush right away. As soon as Bo Kelly saw Brad Lacombe leave, there was an open hole for him to rush the quarterback, and he took it.
This one from 30. It's good. Mustangs trail 21-16.
There's no doubt about it. Solid antiperspirants are a great way to keep you dry.
First round playoff action underway here at America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. The Rattlers on top of the Milwaukee Mustangs, 21-16. And a reminder, tonight at midnight on ESPN2, it's the New Jersey Red Dogs taking on the Orlando Predators down at the O Arena. That's tonight at midnight on the Deuce.
Well, even though Milwaukee got 3 points, Danny White says, hey, you kick a field goal on us, we consider that a defensive stop. That's their second one of the night. Stucker missed a 58-yard field goal early for a complete stop. This time he gets the 3, but still 2 stops for the Arizona Rattlers this half.
That last play did take 10 plays and 7 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. But again, the bottom line is the scoreboard, and the Rattlers lead by 5. Stucker's kick is deep, and Hunky Cooper's got it. The Hunkster. They love him here at America West. He gets it out to just about the 10-yard line. David Andrews with a nice special teams tackle.
And a little bit of talk afterward. Watch this tackle. He'll come onto the inside of Cecil Doggett. Does a nice job goes low, gets lower than Cooper, makes a nice tackle, stops him dead in his tracks. Out in space like that, that's a great job to get a guy down without gaining any yards and hanging on to him and let him dragging you.
Cedric Bonner in his 5th year out of Cal State Northridge. Best season as a pro, and tonight, look what he's done in the last 4 passes. 4 for 4, 3 TDs. Herb Duncan, the motion man. They run that flanker screen out to Schexnayder. Milwaukee didn't bite. Wayne Wade on the stop.
Bonner mad at himself. He just threw sidearm in the air to say, I should have thrown it sidearm and gone underneath him. You see him go over the top, and Jarvis gets the block, Ralph Jarvis, and afterward he got up and he said, you know what? He did a little sidearm action. I should have kind of wrapped it around his body.
Ralph Jarvis, the 6th-year pro from Temple. A critical man tonight if Milwaukee is going to emerge victorious and come up with the upset. They have to put pressure on Bonner somehow, some way. There he was downfield making the tackle on Hunky Cooper.
And he said, listen, we don't care. We know we lost those 2 games early in the season. We should have won them. We feel like we should have won them. We were winning in both of them. And he said, we will win tonight. You heard him in the beginning, his own quote, we will win tonight. There's no other way but to win.
Bonner, the Arena Bowl MVP in 1994 when the Rattlers won it all. He'd love dearly to do it again. First things first, however, and that's beating Milwaukee. Schexnayder is open. Had a step on Wade. Ball overthrown.
And he's upset with Wayne Wade. He felt like Wayne Wade gave him a little extra shot to go into the back wall. These two are going to be at each other all night. Don't be surprised to have Danny White go right back to it again.
And until that incompletion, Bonner had connected on 6 straight.
Pump fake, little pump fake. Not a great fake that time. It really didn't freeze Wayne Wade enough. Need to do a better job faking. There's what Schexnayder's mad at. Wayne Wade shoves him in the back a little bit. Now they go toe-to-toe. It's good to know the blood's boiling a little bit. Nothing wrong with a little chatter as long as you don't lose your cool and cost your team some penalties.
2nd and 10, 2:27 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Bonner, the 3-step drop. Cooper can't hang on. Flag deep in the secondary. Referee in the white hat, R.G. Detellier.
Usually coming from the deep back like that without a pass back there usually means an alignment problem.
Illegal formation, number 99 defense. 3-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
All right, now I talked about the nose tackle, how he has to be head up. Well, the end, Ralph Jarvis is the defensive end. He cannot be outside of the offensive tackle. He has to be at the very furthest, shoulder to shoulder. Any farther than that, and it's alignment penalty on the defensive end, just like it was there. Here you see to the left of your screen, he is too far outside. It's got to be shoulder to shoulder. He's outside that shoulder.
2nd down and 8. One more time for Arizona. The pitch to Bo Kelly. And he is smacked hard by Wayne Wade along with Jeff Savage, number 25.
Well,
Gain of 5.
That was a 5-yard gain that should have been a no-yard gain. David Andrews hit him right at the line. Bo Kelly just kept driving, ended up taking 5 Milwaukee Mustang players to eventually hit him and bring him down. As you see his numbers on the year.
235-pounders out of East Texas State.
3rd and less than 3 here. Always look for that hard count. Try and get the defense to jump offside.
Cooper in motion. Stop and go route. Good coverage that time by Michael James. So a stop for the Mustangs.
Maybe. They may be going for it here, so they might have to do it one more time. The last couple of offensive plays by the Rattlers have been stop and goes. The fakes, Mike, have not been very good. They haven't froze the defensive backs at all to make them bite up on it, so that makes the deep route work. First time it was Wayne Wade, this time Michael James. Both times the fake not good enough to really fool them. They've got to do a better job with the quarterback faking the throw and with the receiver stopping and acting like the ball is coming.
Well, Milwaukee certainly has a lot of game film to take a look at. They've met twice before.
No surprise there. Even though they are in the top 5 in rushing over the year, they still love the big ball.
Well, they are going for it on 4th and 2. Bonner has missed 2 straight passes after hitting on 6 consecutive ones. He's got Cooper, or McMillan rather. Hunky Cooper. No, I had it right the first time. Number 14. First down, Arizona.
That was a fake pitch, like they were going to run the ball. Then Bonner rose a little bit, actually got some pressure on him, but he's been able to get the ball off all year. Again, he's never been sacked. That time Jeff Savage getting the pressure, but he's able to get it off as he has all year to Hunky Cooper for a first down. So Milwaukee was 1 play away from getting their first stop of the night. No go, say the Rattlers.
Arizona's offensive line has done a nice job containing Ralph Jarvis and company. Tony Henderson has been on him most of the night. Bonner's got Chestater open. Boy, did he thread the needle or what? Woo!
Well, the 2 defensive backs we just talked about that did a nice job of not fighting on the fakes, Wayne Wade and Michael James, had to feel like a needle being threaded right here. Watch this ball go in right between them, right on the money for number 3 to Calvin Chestater. Give that one to Cedric Bonner. That's all him right there, getting the ball between the 2 defenders.
He had 7 2 weeks ago against Albany in week 13. We witnessed that game. 5 catches tonight for 86 yards and 3 scores. Brenner on to attempt his 4th extra point. It is good. Arizona on top, 28-16, but we've still got 28 seconds left to go here in the first half. Stay with us.
That smell.
It's my sports girl. Mike Adamley along with Mike Golick back with you here at America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, where the top-ranked, number 1 seeded Arizona Rattlers lead the Milwaukee Mustangs 28-16 in their first-round playoff game. That last Arizona scoring drive, they took a page from Milwaukee's book.
So when they're leading as much as they were by 8 points before this, they want to burn up the clock now. And defensively, they're going to let Milwaukee go ahead and get the ball downfield. They'll just play back. They want that clock to keep moving both when they're on offense and they're on defense.
Danny White, the only head coach and general manager in the 6-year history of the Arizona Rattlers. His team on top by 12. And another super kick by Anthony Brenner. No return for Skip Stewart and the Mustangs. Coming up tomorrow on ABC Sports at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, it's the Miller 200 at the Mid-Ohio. Brian Herta on the pole. That's tomorrow at 3 Eastern on ABC.
Well, 28 seconds. They still got plenty of time, and they desperately need. Field goal would be nice, but they'd love to put 7 on the board.
That time, Hamill, as he's done often tonight, electing to hit the short man, Gary Compton, a gain of 8.
Seconds. We're under a minute, so out-of-bounds plays and incompletions will stop the clock. Plus, they have 3 timeouts left.
Inside 90. Home one, ready?
Hear the 90 call again. Another 3-step drop. And they try and chip away going down the field, knowing they have 3 timeouts.
Gary Compton again, the designated receiver. First down, Milwaukee. Clock stops with 19 ticks left.
And again, Arizona gladly just play back, let them get closer, stop the touchdown, force them to try a field goal, if anything else. Michael Trigg maybe going to have to take a chance here on a little hitch pass, a little fake, to try and get into the end zone.
Ball into Milwaukee, 23, Hamill with time, all looking for a receiver. David Andrews was pulled down by Randy Gatewood, and Gatewood did not get away with that.
Well, it's exactly what I had just said. They tried the hitch. David Andrews stopped with the fake. We talked about Milwaukee not biting. Arizona bit very hard there, won Randy Gatewood, and as Andrews was running by him, he said, well, I might as well not give up the easy touchdown. I'm just going to grab him and throw him down.
Illegal contact. Number 17, defense. 3-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And smart play by Randy Gatewood.
And because it's a 3-yard penalty, you see he grabs him right there and throws him down. What would have been a 7-point touchdown, now just a 3-yard penalty. Though he did bite on the fake, a smart move afterward just to pull him down. Great fake by Andrews and Hamill.
Hardly seems equitable, but them's the rules. 13 seconds remain. 3 wide receivers to the right, the top of your screen for Milwaukee. They go to Andrews underneath. Out of bounds. Oh, was he?
Well, that last, after he broke that last tackle, he dropped the ball and had to go back and get it, or he may have been in the end zone.
He's even laughing at his own faux pas.
And he stayed in bounds, so they are going to call a timeout.
So the Mustangs will take a break, and so will we. 5 seconds remaining here to go in this first half. Rattlers lead by 12. David Andrews almost had a touchdown, but he forgot that you have to take the ball with you.
Well, he's done a nice job of getting yards after the catch a couple times. Here you see Cecil Doggett strips the ball. Andrews almost grabs it, then drops, says, uh-oh, I need that. He gets on it, but doesn't get out of bounds. Then he gets pile drove by the whole Rattler team, and they have to use a timeout.
So they trail by 12. They've got the ball goal to goal at the Arizona 5-yard line. 5 seconds remaining to go here in the first half. Hamill. Oh, Compton had a hand on it, couldn't hang on. Incomplete.
And he had to throw that under one of the defenders. I'm wondering if Compton even lost view of the ball. Watch the defender jump. Right here in the middle, it actually goes under him. You got to wonder if Compton lost flight of the ball as it almost got blocked, and he looks back and got grabbed a little bit. Don't know if it was enough to really make a difference. He had his hands on the ball.
Compton thought he was grabbed, was he? Yeah, just he was touched by Cedric Walker. Now enough for pass interference. All right, 1 second to go. Last play of the first half. Oh, he almost had it broken up. David Andrews, the intended receiver, pass broken up by Cecil Doggett. What a defensive stop.
Great job. He had him in man coverage all the way because they were in the red zone. Take a look at him. He settles down on him. Andrews tries to get a bit of a push-off, and he does. Doggett, nice job of hanging with it and just getting his hand in there at the end to take away the touchdown.
So that is the end of the first half. Arizona leads Milwaukee 28-16. Stay with us. ESPN News coming up next. It is halftime here at America West Arena as the Arizona Rattlers, the #1 seed coming into these Arena Football League playoffs, lead the #8 seed Milwaukee Mustangs 28-16. The playoffs actually began last night in Des Moines, Iowa. The Barnstormers, the #2 seed, beat San Jose 68-59. Now later tonight on the Deuce, ESPN2, more Football League action, Arena Football League action, playoff coverage, New Jersey taking on Orlando. Now this game is on a tape delay basis. It has already taken place, but if you'd like to watch tonight's coverage and want to remain in suspense, we're going to show you the score, but you please turn away from the screen right now. There's the score. Once again, halftime, Arizona leading Milwaukee 28-16. Back with more in a moment. Back here at America West Arena, Arizona on top of Milwaukee, 28-16 in this first round Arena Football League playoff game. Big man tonight, as always, Calvin Schexnayder, one of 3 touchdown receptions from Cedric Bonner.
We talked about the matchup with him and defensive back Wayne Wade. They've been going at it all night, both physically and jawing at it. Right now, Schexnayder has the advantage.
For Milwaukee, a big play that ultimately wasn't.
Skip Stewart goes the distance on the kickoff return, but Ralph Jarvis, their fine defensive end, gets called for holding and brings it back. That's one of a few mistakes. A drop on a wide open pass, a mixed extra point. Those have all added up as we look at the halftime stats. You see the Mustangs have time of possession on their side, but when you're down by 12 points, you're going to have to start scoring a little bit quicker. Other than that, everything is pretty even.
Arizona this year against playoff opponents was 5-2. As you look at the playoff records in the postseason, Arizona in their history 5-3, and of course they won the Arena Bowl title back in 1994. Milwaukee, this is only their second playoff appearance. They lost in the opening round last year to Albany.
Well, and a stat I'm sure Milwaukee doesn't want to know. When Arizona's leading at halftime at home, they're 6-0. When Milwaukee is trailing at halftime away, they're 0-3. So it doesn't bode well for Milwaukee right now. But you know what stats mean? You can throw them all out the window because you still got to play the game.
Head coach Danny White, a man with a mission, and David Andrews for Milwaukee would like to rewrite the script a little bit. They lost their 2 games earlier this year to Arizona, trying to make the 3rd time a charm. Todd Hamill and company coming out, but looking into the teeth of a 12-point deficit.
The thing different this time is in both the games during Arizona during the year, they were winning the ball game early. This time they find themselves down 12 going into the 3rd quarter, not a position they've been in a lot with this team, and they've always just not been able to hold the lead, and Arizona's come back. Now they find themselves where they have to catch up. This man, Ralph Jarvis, has got to be a big part of that, get some pressure on Cedric Bonner.
Where they're going to have to go on defense to start things off. Hunky Cooper has got a lane. It closes quickly after a gain of 22 yards. Brought down by Wayne Wade, number 17, a man we've called his name many times tonight.
Well, this is a big...
The good and the bad.
Yeah, exactly. Big series for Milwaukee. Offensively, they've been stopped 2 times tonight, and they have yet to stop the Arizona Rattlers. I guess right now would be as good a time as any. I'm like...
Wayne Wade in the Milwaukee secondary, matched up against Arizona's brilliant number 8, Calvin Schexnayder. Bonner going to Gatewood instead. Randy Gatewood breaking a tackle or 2 and dragging a defender, Michael James, all the way down to the 1-yard line. Make it to 2.
Well, very tough to get a defensive stop that way. Gatewood does all this after the throw, just a quick slant. Dan Petrie not able to bring him down. He goes by Wayne Wade. He just starts breaking tackles, and then they have to drag him down. There's 2. Here's 3. He's hanging on Michael James for dear life. Gatewood trying to drag him into the end zone. Then Wayne Wade tries to get a little piece of him and found the wall instead.
And after the 31-yard gain, the ball rests goal to goal at the 2-yard line. The pitch to McMillan, Bobby McMillan. Not a lot of running room over the right side. He gets stacked up by Lincoln Coleman, number 44.
A lot of people involved in this play. Wayne Wade, 17, actually does a nice job of getting penetration right there. And then McMillan actually runs into his own man, Gatewood, and then Michael James makes an easy tackle of it. That play never really had a chance from the beginning. Wayne Wade, a nice job of forcing Bob McMillan to stop his forward momentum and restart. By then, it's too late.
And when you run it to the short side of the field, there's not a lot of room right there, so Gatewood can be excused for running into McMillan. Looks like they're going to go the other way this time. Schexnayder running that big looping pattern. He caught the ball from the same side of the field that he started on. He went in motion left, ran a big loop into the end zone. His 4th touchdown reception of the evening in Arizona is starting to roll.
Well, we saw the same play on the 4th and 2 in the middle of the field in the second quarter. They faked the pitch to their left. You see a little fake, then the roll, and he waits for Scheck-Stader to get all the way to the other end and just lofts it over the defensive lineman, knowing he's got time because the defender, Michael James, was a good 2-3 yards behind him. He knew he didn't have to drill it to him. He had a little time to float it to him.
That was one of those sandlot pickup games drawn in the dirt. Brenner's extra point blocks, but flags down.
That was blocked by Ralph Jarvis, but they're going to say, I believe he came from the outside, and you're not allowed to have an outside rush on a field goal attempt or an extra point. That's what Cedric Bonner went quickly to the referee and said, listen, he came from the outside. That's not allowed. You're right, that did look like a sandlot play. You run to the hubcap, do a button hook, you go to the parked car, and I'll hit who's ever open.
Ralph Jarvis trying to be a difference maker tonight for Milwaukee on defense, but
He blocked the guy right there.
We
have no flag on the play. The play's no good.
They're going to say then that Ralph Jarvis actually did come inside of the offensive player for a legal block. He's a man who said he's got to step it up. He needs to get pressure on Ced.
nevertheless, the Arizona Rattlers starting to roll here, 34-16 here early in the third. ESPN's coverage of the Arena Football League is brought to you by MBNA America, the official credit card of the Arena Football League, and by Advil. No non-prescription pain reliever is proven to work better than Advil. Back here at America West Arena, the Arizona Rattlers defending their #1 playoff seed, proving that their 12-2 season was no fluke as they lead Milwaukee 34-16. Anthony Brenner set the kickoff for Arizona. A clean carom fielded by Michael James. Hunky Cooper with a great special teams tackle. Offensively, the star has been Cedric Bonner and his favorite receiver, Calvin Scheck-Stader, who joins us now from the sideline. Calvin, quite an interesting battle being engaged between you and Milwaukee's Wayne Wade. What about it?
Well, you know, he's a good cornerback. I respect him a lot, but, you know, this is the playoffs, and, you know, all things go. And it's going to be a tough battle here on out, and we just want to keep executing.
Calvin, is the plan still go your way, or does Danny want to spread it out a little bit, or, hey, go with who's hot?
You know, he wants to spread it out a little bit, but, you know, they're giving me, he's giving me the goals and all the deep routes, and, hey, I'm going to take them.
Calvin, what about that last touchdown pass? It looked like something out of the sandlot drawn up in the sand.
Well, actually, the DBs got mixed up in their coverage, and he came off late, and, you know, that was a result of a touchdown.
All right, Shakes, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks.
You know, that's got to be one of the harder touchdown passes to catch. It's floating right to you. You know it's right there, and you almost over-concentrate for it, and sometimes you see those easy ones like that drop.
4 touchdown catches tonight for Calvin Scheck-Stader. Milwaukee continuing to have problems offensively here as Hamill has to throw the ball away. Since the first 4 minutes and 21 seconds of the first quarter, the Rattlers have gone on a 27-3 run.
That was actually supposed to be a pass to the fullback, Lincoln Coleman.
Right. Y motion back. And let's go 50 sacks to the deep.
And Bob McMillan did a nice job of knocking
Right.
Coleman
Y
down.
motion back. 50 sacks, deep post. Come on, ready? Come on,
All right, 50 to 5 step. You heard the deep post. Y is the offensive specialist for Milwaukee, and it's a deep post. They're going to try and go long here.
That's Skip Stewart, the man with the 4.2 speed. Ball falls through his hands. Pretty good coverage, great coverage actually by Cedric Walker.
Another one of these plays. Skip Stewart dropped it when he was wide open earlier in the game. This one hits him in the hands, Mike. Big games, big players have to make the big plays. The ball comes right into his hands. He's got to make that catch. That's the second time he's done it tonight. That one a long one before, a short one. But as I said before, they're going to add up, and that's a big one there.
A little too effusive in my praise of Cedric Walker. He was on him, but Stewart should have had that ball. If you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
Absolutely.
10:09 remaining here to go in the third quarter. Milwaukee desperately needs a first down. Hamill in trouble. Sacked by Bob McMillan, safety. And Hamill getting up woozy.
He got him low. There was no doubt they were coming after him. Bob McMillan got in a position as quick as he could without being offsides. Went right through Lincoln Coleman. Almost looked like a little stunt between the down lineman and Bob McMillan. Lincoln Coleman ended up trying to block them both, and McMillan slides off of him for the safety.
Maybe we can see that again, because one thing you are not allowed to do in the Arena Football League is stunt or twist. It's going to be a straight-on rush. Look at the pressure tonight that Arizona has brought on Todd Hamill, and it has affected his game, no question about it.
And there was no doubt they were coming right off the top with that one. McMillan, no doubt what he was doing, he wasn't going to back off and wait to see if anybody was going out. They have done a decent job on pressure. They've gotten 13 sacks themselves this year. Now remember, no stunts are allowed. Well, McMillan is the linebacker standing to your right. He actually comes underneath, and the nose tackle ends up going around him, which possibly could be construed as a stunt, though it did happen late, and the refs may figure it happened because of the blocking scheme. No penalty called, safety for the Rattlers.
Arizona up by 20. Hunky Cooper gets the ball off the net, but they're going to bring it out to the 5-yard line after the touchback.
Again, it hit that railing that is behind the net. Referee's going to call it right there. You see it. It'll go into the net, actually come off of that railing. They're going to call it a touchback right from there. They don't want it. The net, you get a funny enough bounce. Now you have the net and the railing to boot. You don't know where the ball's going to go.
Bonner tonight bringing out his troops again. 11 of 16, 188 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Oh, almost a big play turned in by Michael James, number 7, as Hunky Cooper couldn't hang on to that. He only ran about a 6-yard route, and Bonner put a little extra mustard on that pass. Tough to catch.
Second time Hunky has had one go through his hands. That one did come at him a little fast. Don't be surprised to see Arizona go for it all again. They don't mind throwing up that long one, even when they have a big lead.
Extra. Rock is 50 hits. On two, ready? Right.
Schexnayder deep in his own end zone, starting in motion, running the quick little hitch pattern. Bonner was going in his direction. Wayne Wade on the coverage.
Gary Compton, number 2, got the knockdown. He's playing the Jill linebacker. He has to stay in the box. You see him, the right linebacker. He has to stay in that box. He can't drift out of there. He does a nice job of reading Cedric Bonner's eyes. You saw Cedric look to that side of the field the whole time, so Gary Compton drifted that way right off the bat to get in his vision. A nice job of reading the quarterback's eyes and following his arm.
Compton, who owns all of Milwaukee's receiving records, doing the job on defense. Third and 10. Bonner in trouble, has to throw that one away, and so a rare 4th down situation for Danny White's Arizona Rattlers.
And here's another reason Bonner's not been sacked all year. He realizes when the pocket's breaking down, he doesn't have a lot of time. He does a good job of throwing the ball away. There's a lot that goes into no sacks. It's the offensive line, it's the fullback blocking, it's the quarterback with the quick throw, and the brains in the sense to throw the ball away when he's got nothing.
Well, just for the record, the last time that Bonner was sacked over a year ago, July 27th, 1996, against Tampa Bay.
Don't have to wash his jersey too many times after the game.
So a 62-yard field goal attempt by Anthony Brenner, who's long this year, is 41. This has got plenty of leg, but it's wide right. The ball is live. Skip Stewart fields it, and he's got it out to the 20-yard line already, out to the 23. So that's where Milwaukee will begin play after the 27-yard return by Skip Stewart. Tackle made by Flint Fleming. It's been all Rattlers here in the second half so far. They lead by 20.
All right, now we want to show all of CTL's products for a TV commercial. start with the rest.
Arizona leading Milwaukee 36-16, 7:19 remaining to go here in the third quarter of this first-round playoff game. And a reminder, next Saturday night on ESPN and ESPN2, the semifinals begin. We'll have live coverage on ESPN at 8 o'clock Eastern, and then at midnight, tape delay on the Deuce, ESPN2. The semifinals next week on ESPN and ESPN2. The Arizona Rattlers, they lead the league in attendance and maybe the best fans, at least most vocal fans. They are really into this year's Rattler team, and why not? 12-2 during the regular season, and on top here in their first playoff game by 20.
Just under 112,000 people have passed through these gates in their 7 home games and averaging 15,980. You see, these two teams are actually number 1 and 2 in the league in attendance.
Had this game been held at the Bradley Center, we'd have seen the same kind of fans.
Just not snakes. We'd have seen Mustang heads.
And if they would have probably, you'd have worn one, right? Hamill's pass knocked down. We talked about Bonner staying sack-free. By contrast, Todd Hamill has been hurried numerous times tonight and been sacked 3 times, once for a safety.
Here you see Bo Kelly, number 2, the linebacker, right here in the middle of your screen. He's going to rush, jumps right up. Boy, he got a lot of vertical right there. He stayed there for a while.
You know, the thing that strikes me about this Arizona team is they're getting a lot of contribution from a variety of players. Hamill has hit just one of his last 6 attempts. There's why he's got those happy feet, courtesy of that Arizona pass rush. There's not much defense played in this league, but come playoff times, the teams that advance do it on the defensive side of the football, Mike.
Arizona's working on their 4th stop of the night. They're playing some darn good defense tonight. Only 16 points on the board for Milwaukee. Michael Trigg had said, if this game is in the 50s,
and let's go 90 with a wide post.
if this game is in the 50s or below, we think we have a good shot of winning, but I think he needed his team to be in the 50s.
90 wide post, on one, ready?
All right, 90 wide post, 90 to 3-step. But you hear the post route, that's an end zone route.
Skip Stewart most likely will run it. He's the man at the bottom of your screen. He cuts it short. Hamill instead goes to David Andrews, number 4, incomplete. Coverage by Cecil Doggett, the second-year pro from West Virginia. And the crowd has been ignited once again. They are going wild here in America West. The Rattlers up by 20. You're watching ESPN's coverage of arena football.
1-800-COLLECT presents
Mike Adamle and Mike Golick here at America West Arena. The Arizona Rattlers making good as the number 1 seed coming into the playoffs, leading Milwaukee 36-16. And they have dominated since midway in the first quarter. Bonner, again, plenty of time to throw. Finally finds an intended receiver, Cedric Tillman, I believe, number 80. He is the lone original Arizona Rattler.
And they were looking to go deep again. Look at all the time he has. That's been the key. Ralph Jarvis, who said he'd love to get a piece of Bonner in that first sack of the year. He's been ineffective, as well as the rest of that defensive line at this point. No pressure. As we look at Cedric Tillman for the season, been out a lot of the season.
Second down and 2. Ball at the Milwaukee 22. Bonner going deep, shakes is open, flag down. They signal touchdown, but again, a flag down on the play.
Well, they threw the flag near Herb Duncan and Sam Petrie. It looks like Cedric Bonner listening into the referees.
We have illegal contact. Number 17 defense. Penalty refused. Touchdown.
Well, they don't even have to ask Cedric Bonner if he wants to decline that one or not. As Shakes gets his 5th touchdown reception of the night. There's the hold right there. They call. He does a little inside-out move on Wayne Wade. Wayne Wade tries to get a hold of him to keep him from breaking free, and nice job by Schexnayder of breaking away from Wayne Wade.
You know, as Anthony Brenner attempts the extra point here, we've got so many great wide receivers in this league. Barry Wagner, the George LaFrancis, the Larry Ray Willises. This guy may not be all-arena first team this year, and that would be a shame because Calvin Schexnayder is truly something special. 43-16, 3:40 remaining here in the third quarter. During Arena Football League season, they call this Palace the Snake Pit, and it has been a den of vipers, actually Rattlers for the Milwaukee Mustangs. They have been in huge trouble since the middle of the first quarter. They scored 13, and then it's been a drought ever since.
Up outscoring them 29-3 now since the second quarter, getting shut out in the third. Milwaukee has been stopped on their last 4 possessions. One time on downs, then they got made a field goal, but that is counted as a stop. And then the safety by Bob McMillan sacking Todd Hamill, and then another stop on downs. 4 straight.
Skip Stewart trying to make something out of nothing, gets it out to about the 8-yard line after a gain of about 14. Second half total yardage is remarkable.
And don't look for Arizona. They're not letting up there behind the fans. They're going nuts here. This defense is attacking. The defensive backs are hanging back, but that defensive line knows, hey, nothing going on here. Let's just pin our ears back and go. And Bob McMillan and the other linebackers are doing a nice job of rushing up the gut.
And Todd Hamill under intense pressure all night long, especially here in the second half. They go the short route this time to Skip Stewart. Again, Arizona content to let Milwaukee receivers have those 8- and 9-yard gains, and it's paid off tonight.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the clock runs. Again, we're above a minute, so nothing stops the clock. Out-of-bounds plays or incompletions. So the clock keeps running. They'll let them have all those plays until, again, it gets to the red zone. And this is fun time for the defensive line and the rush linebacker. This is when you try all the different moves you want to try that you've ever thought of to try and put some pressure on Todd Hamill.
First and 10, Milwaukee. Andrews, the motion man. Stewart, Skippy, you got to look for the ball.
A lot of miscommunication there because Jeff Savage went out for a pass. You see Jeff Savage 25 going out for the pass as Brian Easter, the linebackers, lets it rush in. I don't believe Stewart thinks the pass is coming to him. He obviously does. He doesn't turn around. Jeff Savage goes out of the backfield, number 25, thinking it's going to be a fullback screen. Todd Hamill doesn't even look his way.
Stewart, the youngest player in the league, learning a lot about what the playoffs are about. You don't open your mouth before in the week prior. You stay focused, you concentrate, and you make big plays, something that he hasn't really done tonight.
And he just got himself a flag for kicking. This is youth here, exuberance of opening his mouth. Now you know the guys are going to try and tag him a little harder. They bring him down, and he reacts with a kick. They may call it both ways here. They may get both the guys, but Skip Stewart definitely trying to get the defender off him with a kick.
After the play was over with, we have a personal foul. Number 28 offense. 8 yards from the end of the run. Third down.
A young man with enormous athletic talent and now needs to learn how to harness his emotions. It'll come.
Oh, it definitely will. Again, we're talking about a guy who didn't play high school or college football. He's been in the boxing ring a lot of his life, a lot of pride. You know, in a boxing, as we know, there's a lot of jawing that goes on, a lot of talk. He doesn't think anything about it. His teammates even said, listen, he's young. If he needs that to motivate him, that's fine. We don't care. But he's got to be able to back it up. And right now, he's having a tough time. And the fans here are just trying to drive the nail home.
Hamill, one of the few times tonight he has had time in the backfield. Elton Rhodes, a defensive specialist now in the game as a wide receiver. Cedric Walker drives him out of bounds.
Well, this game may start to get a bit of a nasty flavor to it with Milwaukee down this much, trying to get themselves back into the game. The defense, we talked about the D-line and the rush linebacker for Arizona just pinning their ears back. The Arizona DBs, they're just hanging back and waiting for the reception and then just trying to put a hard a hit as they can on the Milwaukee receivers. I think we're going to see a few more scraps after the plays tonight.
The pitch to David Andrews. Oh, he gets nailed. Mark Tucker, number 56, submarines in there. And Brian Easter, number 24.
That's a nice job against Milwaukee, who's the number 2 rushing team in the league. You see Tucker, he takes out the blocker, and then Brian Easter comes in and cleans house. Give him both stars for that one. Tucker forces the issue, and then Brian Easter comes in and cleans it up.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. The Arizona Rattlers on their way, 43-16. Barring an outrageous reversal of fortune, the Arizona Rattlers on their way to the semifinals. They lead 43-16, and they've done it, Mike Golick, with defense.
And it started early from the get-go, tattooing the receivers like that early, blocking passes, knocking passes down, a deflective pass. They've done it every way you can with safeties. Look at the pressure on Todd Hamill. He's been getting it all night long. Whether he's been sacked, whether he's gotten rid of the ball and knocked down, and, a whole lot of meat landed on him after each play.
And they took over with 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining to go in the first quarter. Arizona led at that time 14-13. Since then, they've been on a 36-3 run. Milwaukee has the ball, however, at the 14-yard line of Arizona. Hamill's pass to Gary Compton. Just shy of the first down. Or is it? Nice spot. First down. I stand corrected.
Can you see just a button hook right over the middle? Arizona back again until they get in that red zone like they are now. They give them the first down. Now you'll see the defenders come up and play a little tougher. Milwaukee can't screw around. They don't have to worry about running the ball too much. They got to score right away. It's a running clock. They can't stop it until under a minute to go. They need to get in the end zone.
The pitch to Skip Stewart. He cuts it back against the grain. Gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Arizona on a mission.
There goes another flag after the play. Referees are going to have their hands full trying to keep this game under control.
We have unsportsmanlike conduct on the Arizona coaching staff. Half a distance to the goal from the end of the run.
Doug Kay.
Doug Kay.
He's down there on about the 3-yard line.
Been in football pretty much all his life. Now, he's got to even know better than that, but he's down there right on the action and got a little too involved for the referee's liking.
Unlike the NFL, these guys are given a free rein to roam out there.
Well, I tell you what, looks like you could put some pads on him and he'd have an impact tonight.
He had his game face on back on Wednesday. Second and goal. Compton, touchdown. Finally.
Even though Doug Kay's group is up by a whole lot of points, he doesn't like to see touchdowns scored against him. Milwaukee need to kick that extra point, get to the sideline. They don't need any high fives right now. They need to get busy on defense. See the fake handoff and the quick pass to Compton. Here's what Doug Kay has to say about it. Defensive coordinators don't care if it's first and goal on the half-yard line. They don't want that team to score.
In a perfect world for a defensive coordinator like Doug Kay, there would be a stop on every series. Stucker's extra point is good. Milwaukee trying to hang in there, but they trail by 20 with 13-12 remaining in the game.
Welcome back to
ESPN's coverage of the Arena Football League is brought to you by MBNA America, the official credit card of the Arena Football League. and by Paramount Pictures' Event Horizon. Starts Friday, August 15th at theaters everywhere, rated R. In the Valley of the Sun, it is almost sunset for the fortunes of the Milwaukee Mustangs as they trail Arizona 43-23. Onside kick tried by the Mustangs. Heads-up play by Arizona special team member Bobby McMillan.
Well, not the best onside kick in the world. It really bounced right to him. When you're kicking it straight ahead like that, you want a real short hopper. You're going to see this one bounce right to McMillan. He doesn't really have to move very far for it. You need it to either be a little higher when you're doing it straight on, or or make McMillan short hop it like a grounder. He has to do neither. First down on the 11-yard line for a team that's got 40 points on the board. Not good for Milwaukee.
A beleaguered Milwaukee defense trying to suck it up. That last Milwaukee scoring drive, now they don't need to take time off the clock. They need to score quickly, yet there it is, 8 plays, 42 yards, 4:50 off the clock. Coming up tomorrow on ESPN from Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York, it's the Bud at the Glen. Jeff Bodine, the defending champion of this race. Mark Martin won it in 93, 94, and 95. That's tomorrow on ESPN at 1 Eastern.
Well, we had to wonder if Arizona was a normal kickoff and had the ball and had to go the length of the field. Would they throw the short passes? Would they try and burn the clock out? Or would they just go to try and score more? Now when you're at the 11-yard line, as we just saw a look at Danny White and now Michael Trigg from Milwaukee, you're at the 11-yard line, you have no choice but to try, go ahead and get it in there and score.
This has become a matter of pride for the Milwaukee defenders. Bonner gives it the short handoff to McMillan, who keeps his feet and keeps rumbling down inside the 5-yard line. Michael James finally trips the big man up.
That was all Bob McMillan because he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. This guy's done it on defense with a sack for a safety and other great pressure. This time you see there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Runs into his own man, keeps his balance with his hand, drives straight ahead. As you see Michael James try and undercut him, and he's still going over the top of Michael James. That's just great determination on the part of Bob McMillan, who's doing it on both sides of the ball tonight.
2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Arizona trying to pad a 20-point lead. Flint Fleming!
And after he tipped it, Hunky Cooper almost caught it, which is completely legal. That's about the most pressure we've seen on Cedric Bonner tonight. Ralph Jarvis doesn't go for the fake, does a nice job of staying with Ced, gets in his face, gets a good shot on him. Very good thing Cedric Bonner is left-handed. That's the way he's rolling. Able to get the throw off. Clint Fleming, the offensive lineman's eyes got real wide.
Oh, yeah. A golden opportunity by the boards there. Oh, call the same play, Cedric. Schexnayder, the motion man. Calvin open for a moment. Pressure that time by Arnold Campbell, number 77. It'll be 4th and goal.
Well, they went to the well again on that one. That's a play he caught the touchdown pass on before. He came from motion all the way on the other side of the field and then loops back to the corner of the end zone where he started. Cedric Bonner tried to float the ball there. This time Milwaukee wasn't fooled. And they're going to have to go for the 3 from Anthony Brenner, who had a game winner the last week of the season when they played the New York City Hawks. A lot of the reserves were in the game. It was a close game. They were losing 36-35 with 4 seconds to go. Brenner Cooley stepped up, kicked a 32-yarder to give him the most wins in franchise history at 12.
Brenner with the extra point attempt. They don't get it off. Flags are down. Should Arizona go on to win this game, they play next week in the semifinals against the next lowest seed. That could be anybody from Orlando, New Jersey, or Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they reseed after each round, and if they're the #1 seed, they'll play the next lowest seed.
And they're right where they want to be, where Danny White wants to be, here at the Snake Pit at home.
Exactly. When they won the Arena Bowl in '94, it was an away game, and their goal, they're not happy to be in the playoffs. They knew that was going to happen. This team is on a mission, and it won't end until the ring goes on their finger right here at America West Arena.
And it really is a tribute to these fans here that have supported them since the franchise began 6 years ago. They want to win it in their own backyard for these fans. Brenner's extra point attempt a little longer from 24 yards out. Fans are signaling yes, Milwaukee signaling no. What was it?
I've never seen a delayed reaction like that on a referee. It looked like it careened off the upright and then bounced behind the net, which would mean it went through.
The officials conferring and said, hey, wait a minute now.
Now, it careened off the upright, and then it went into the stand, so it went behind the net.
No good. Oh, now it's no good. R.G. Detelier called off by one of his officials who had a better angle, so the field goal is no good. Still Arizona in control. Remaining here in the fourth quarter, Arizona on top of Milwaukee, 43-23. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Right now, that looks to be Arizona. They've had a great night, but Milwaukee trying to claw their way back into the respectability range. Handle that time to Gary Compton, who has been his most capable receiver tonight.
Started out being David Andrews early, who was getting some nice receptions and yards after, but it has moved to Compton now. Little pump fake to the left. Actually, he did have Skip Stewart wide open in the end zone, but Compton's wide open in the middle field also. Again, DB's just playing off. They really need some pressure here from the D-line. Now, Milwaukee really needs to get in the end zone quickly.
First and goal from the 10. Hamill's going to run it himself. Hunky Cooper there to meet him at about the 9.
Good coverage all the way around. Got a little tighter on him as they get closer. Nowhere for Todd to throw. The rush linebacker not coming that time, so Hamill able to step up.
Trips right. One wing motion back. Trips right. Wing motion back. 60 slide. On one. Ready?
60 slide. The slide is the protection of the line. They're going to slide block. 60 is a 5-step drop. Probably try and get to the end zone.
Second and goal from the 9. Hamill going deep. Throws it under the end zone. Ball alive as it bounced off the crossbar of one of the rebound nets with a flag on the play. We've got some kind of interference for sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Cedric Walker on Skip Stewart. Ball going off the net. Again, that is a live ball and is a planned play a lot of times.
Holding. Number 6 defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Again, a situation where the receiver was going through to the end zone and he stopped. You see Doggett right there in the middle of your screen, guarding Compton, grabs a hold of his shirt. Nothing too major, but when your arm's extended like that, when the referee sees the defender's arm extended and on the wide receiver, they're usually going to call him for impeding the receiver.
Automatic first down, ball inside the 5. Hamill to Compton, incomplete. Arizona's defense has been rock solid tonight, but inside the 10 in the red zone, they've been impenetrable.
And a lot of talking going on again. Milwaukee needs to jaw a little less and get in the huddle and call the play. These incompletions, the clock is not stopping. They've had the ball on the 5-yard line for now 3 plays. They can't get it in, and the clock burns on them.
6:39 remaining in the game. Hamill has to pump another sack, the 4th time he has been dropped tonight, that time by Brian Hooks, number 99, who played his collegiate football Oh, about 2 miles away at Arizona State University.
Little hometown flavor with Brian Hooks. He's right over the nose. A nice swim move on Campbell. The center does a great job of coming off. That is a textbook move right there with the pop and swim.
You know, we talked about Arizona's offensive line and Cedric Bonner not being sacked at all this year and giving up just 1 sack. That's the backup quarterback. Milwaukee came into this game second in the league with only 8 sacks, tied with New Jersey. They have given up 4 tonight. Campbell on 3rd and goal from the 13. Intended for Compton, thrown behind him. It is now 4th down.
And those sacks, you read on from that because sometimes you don't always have to get the sack. There's been 3 other knockdowns. There's been 7 hurries to go along with it. So you add all those up together, you're in double digits of getting in a quarterback's face.
Mike, I know that Schneck, Snyder, and Bonner have been terrific again tonight, but shouldn't the MVP of this game come from the defensive side of the ball?
If I had to pick a guy right now, maybe the MVP and the Iron Man would be Bob McMillan. He forced a 4th down errant throw on great pressure earlier in the game. Then he got a sack for a safety. You see him running, incredibly great running, coming through the line, getting positive yardage. You know, you almost want to hand it to him tonight.
Alas, alack, we don't get a vote. All right, here we go. Hamill going for Stewart, who was open. But right as he released the ball, look at that. Buried by Arizona Rattlers. Brian Hooks is there, number 99.
All 3 defensive linemen are laying on Todd Hamill.
Joe Birch, number 75. Clint Fleming, number 10.
And there's a happy
oh, baby, it doesn't get any better than this.
Well, he just got his snake some food. He's got a football. He's taking home with him.
They love arena football here in Arizona. Back with more in a moment.
Mr. Savage, are you eating a Slim Jim in my gymnasium?
Oh, yeah. That's just my style.
Style? Why don't you show me your wrestling style?
Macho boy. All right.
Oh. Need a little excitement? Step into a Slim Jim. Oh. Oh, yeah.
You know, 18-4 with the white bandana. He's been one of many stars on the defensive side of the football for the Arizona Rattlers, who are on their way to the semifinals. 4:50 remaining here in the 4th and final quarter.
And they like McMillan. They say he's a fiery kind of player. He came out of Illinois, Benedictine, that powerhouse.
Well, one of the great things about the Arena Football League is it provides a forum for guys like McMillan, whose career more or less probably would have been over. Not quite NFL caliber kind of player, but he's found a niche in this league, and he gets to continue his football career, a game he loves. Later tonight on The Deuce, more ESPN Arena Football League playoff action. The New Jersey Red Dogs, one of the expansion sensations, taking on the number 4 seed, the Orlando Predators. That's tonight at midnight on The Deuce.
Well, you see Arizona up by 20 points. You don't see him sitting on it again. We see the Calvin Schexnayder and the Wayne Wade matchup again, trying to go deep. That time Wayne Wade got the better of it, as he did early in the game, but clearly Shakes, as they call him, has had the best of it all game.
Bonner with the inflection change and able to drive Milwaukee. Draw Milwaukee offsides, or his own man.
Got his own guy, number 56.
Number 56 offense, 3-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Yeah, Mark Tucker, the left tackle, just flinched. And if you're an offensive lineman, once that hand is down, once you're set, watch, you'll barely see him move. That's all it takes. That's all it takes in the penalties against the offense. We've got guys, offensive linemen, who say they've had bees fly into their helmets, and they've had to stay still and not get the penalty.
Bonner to Shakes. Nice shake there. Picks up the 1st down, and him and Wade get into it.
There's flare-ups going everywhere back at the ball. Jeff Savage rushing the quarterback, trying to throw Cedric down a little more than he wanted to. Tony Henderson, the 6'1", 283-pound offensive lineman, just ripped Savage off him and said, hey, leave my quarterback alone.
The Schexnayder-Bonner connection. Storyline tonight, Calvin's caught 5 of Cedric's 6 touchdown passes.
But look at the defense for Arizona, only giving up 10 points since 4:21 left in the first quarter.
Straight drop back, that little sidearm throw. Bonner hits Shakes again, flag down.
And Danny White has said, he said, listen, as strange as it may sound in arena football where they're averaging over 90 points a game, we win with defense. And there's no doubt that it's come into play tonight and very visible as penalty going against Arizona, and Danny White just livid. He doesn't care if he's up by 20 points. A mistake is a mistake in his book.
56 offense, 8 yards, replay first down.
Well, Mark Tucker's had a couple now. The 300-pounder had a stint here with the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL and has had a couple penalties against them.
Heated playoff action in the Arena Football League, and the baseball pennant races are heating up as well. Immediately following our game here in Arizona, baseball tonight. That's coming up next on ESPN. We've reached the 2-minute mark of the game. Bonner has to scramble out of trouble. Andrews there to rudely pull him out of bounds along with Mark Arthur Johnson, number 58.
Well, that's the only time we've seen Ced Bonner get tackled tonight, but he gained 8 yards on it. Again, you see good protection, an area to step up. That's the important thing Cedric Bonner's had. As I talked about at the top of the telecast, he's able to step up into the pocket, and if nobody's there, then he's got room to run, and he makes about 8 yards there. Here you see 0 sacks. Again, a little bit of pressure on him tonight, but not enough to really affect the throw, especially when he's trying to find his man, Calvin Schexnayder.
Tucker, Birch, Darren Kenny, Tony Henderson, Barry Voorhees, all members of that Arizona offensive line that happen to play defensive football as well, doing another outstanding job protecting their main man tonight.
And again, you always usually see the specialists get the headlines, the Cedric Bonners, the Hunky Coopers, the Calvin Schexnayder, but tonight I think you really have to take your hats off to the line play and the linebacker play for Arizona. I think they have been the difference tonight.
All right.
1 minute to go. Now the guys, because the clock does stop on out of bounds, they'll try and keep it inbounds, keep the clock running.
The Arizona Rattlers on their way to the semifinals. The final 1 minute of play when we return. Back here in the Snake Pit, the hometown favorite Arizona Rattlers have been doing a number on the Milwaukee Mustangs. Head coach Danny White. I think he might get a little more excited about this victory.
He's still seeing those small mistakes, Mike, and you know, an old quarterback, perfectionist, he doesn't like to see those mistakes, and he will get upset at them no matter how much he's winning the game.
3rd down and 12 from their own 24. Bonner. One of the few errant passes we've seen Cedric throw tonight. Flag on a play.
Another flag coming in late, little pushing and shoving.
We have personal fouls, both teams, number 58 and number 25. Penalties offset, 4th down.
You know, one thing I said about this Arizona team the last time we had covered them is their ability to not just rely on one man. They've Calvin Schexnayder, Hunky Cooper, Randy Gatewood, Herb Duncan. Well, so much for that thought. Tonight, Schexnayder with 8 receptions, 125 yards, and 5 touchdowns. All the other receivers combined for the Rattlers, only 5 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. So much for that theory.
Well, it's the old adage, you take what the defense gives you, and they really have given a lot of open room to Calvin. 42-yard field goal attempt by Anthony Brenner to pad the Arizona lead. That one is not blocked. It does not carry him off one of the uprights. It is good.
Yeah, no hesitation on the referee there. That's the best way for Anthony Brenner to do it, is hit that soft net
and make no mistake about it.
And that's his longest of the season, 42 yards.
I always wanted to sit in one of those things, but I always think my legs would come through the front of it.
They would have to make the industrial size IndyCar for you, baby.
I think I'll lose all that draft from the wind that they tried to do aerodynamically. I think it's all out the window. They love their fans here, the Rattlers do.
And their motor has been running all game long.
And there's been reason to cheer all game long. Keep them up and going. But to the Rattlers, they'll be happy after this game, Mike, but to them it's only one of 3 steps. Actually, one of 4. The first getting to the playoffs and then going one game at a time until they're holding that trophy over their head right here at home. So this is a team that won't be ecstatic. They won't be jumping around high-fiving. They're on a mission. They know what they have to do, and this is just one step in doing it.
One thing the Arizona Rattler players know for sure is that they are in the semifinals, and that semifinal game will be right here in the Snake Pit. We'll have the playoff semifinals. They will continue next weekend live at 8 Eastern on ESPN, and also tape delay on the news, ESPN2, next Saturday night at midnight. Playoff action here on ESPN and ESPN2.
And again, Arizona doesn't know who they play. It'll be the lowest seed. It'll be either Orlando, New Jersey, or Tampa Bay. There's still 3 teams that can come here and play at America West.
Final 50 seconds of play. Hamill throwing it out to Skip Stewart. And I really have to feel for this young man. He made a bold prediction during the middle of the week, which made USA Today and eventually wound up on the Arizona Rattler bulletin board, talking about that, hey, if you cover me, our other wide receivers will beat you up.
Hey, I talked to a lot of their teammates before the game, and basically to a man, they were sticking behind Skip saying, listen, if that's what he needs to do, so be it. But you got to believe when they got him in the locker room, they were saying, hey, Skip, you know, we don't need to do that. You know, do your playing on the field. You know, if you play with your technique, not your mouth, that's what's going to win us a football game. And I think you're right. I think he has learned a lesson tonight. Hopefully he has.
Arizona and Coach Danny White, of course, they won the Arena Bowl back in 1994. 93, they lost to the Detroit Drive in the semifinals. In 95, Iowa beat them in the first round by 4. Then last year, they lost to Tampa Bay in the semifinals, 55-54.
That was a game when they needed a 2-point conversion, and we saw it earlier in the game, a pitch out to the short side of the field that didn't work for Arizona. That's the same play Danny White tried in that game for the 2-point conversion that would have sent them on to the Arena Bowl against Iowa. Didn't work there also, so Tampa Bay went on to win the Arena Bowl last year in Iowa. Sure, Danny White would like a little vindication on that.
One more banner to hang from the rafters here at America West.
And there's no doubt it'll be a sweeter one if they hang one this year, because it will be one here at home.
Doug Kay probably in the back of his mind somewhere said, you know, I think we can shut these guys out.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow, he has got to be proud of his defenders. Brian Easter it was iffy whether or not he was going to be brought on the roster. They brought him on right before game time, and he is the team's leading rusher, but right there, he did it on the defensive side of the football. And Doug Kay says, you the man, Brian, you the man.
He was activated just 1 hour before the game. Wasn't even sure if he was playing. And the linebackers and D-line and offensive line and fullbacks for the Rattlers have come up big. Brian Easter with a nice play there for sack number 5 tonight. And as you said, they've only given up 8 during the season. Arizona trying to get to that tonight. A great job, gets his hand on him, doesn't let go. And Hamill says, whoa, thought I got by him.
And Arizona just 1 shy of their team record of 6. Hamill surely to throw with 24 seconds remaining. That is an ugly shot, you know.
That is. That's supposed to be a snake wrapped around a Mustang head if you can make that out.
I'd rather not, Mike.
Danny White got to be happy tonight. And we heard Michael Trigg say if it's in the 50s or below, we think we have a good shot of winning. I don't know if anybody counted on such a defensive stand by either team tonight, and it no doubt came from Arizona.
4:21 remaining in the first quarter. Arizona led 14-13. Since then, 39-10. That's been the Rattler run.
Play, we had Holden, number 5 on the defense. 8 yards from the original line of scrimmage, automatic first down.
Well, so much for that nice sack by Brian Easter. You put it in the books. Make sure you do it with a pencil because you have to erase it now.
And so they are 2 shy of that team record of 6.
You know, you talk about playoff experience. Here are guys that actually have arena championship rings. Tampa Bay leads. They have 17 players on their team with a ring. Arizona has 12.
Tampa Bay and Nashville play tomorrow night in Nashville. They don't call it the snake pit for nothing. Milwaukee found out the hard way tonight. Hamill's got Andrews along the right sideline. Give me that ball back. Give me my free.
The little kid got the ball. He's going home with a souvenir. I wonder if he tried to rip it out of David Andrews' hand.
I think he did. Andrews wanted it. Oh, I don't know. I think David wanted it back. Maybe the ref did, but I know the commissioner, C. David Baker, is here tonight. He'll make sure that that kid gets that ball.
C. David Baker has to sign a lot of footballs because a lot go to the fans all over arena football. That's a great thing that happens when it goes in the stands. There's souvenirs for a lot of the youngsters around the country.
Gary Compton, the most effective receiver tonight for the Mustangs, was the motion man that time. Hamill's pass falls incomplete in front of David Andrews, number 4.
I think a lot of the sacks and hits and hurries has affected Hamill. He's not really setting up in the pocket anymore. He's throwing, backing up. He's throwing off one foot, and he is normally a pocket passer. He sets in the pocket, gets a strong release and a strong follow-through. That hasn't been a case for most of this game.
Statistically not a bad night, but it's not indicative, those numbers, of just how many times he was pressured into poor throws by that Arizona defense. Compton had to duck that time, or else he might have been decapitated by a crossbar.
Brian Easter, linebacker, again in the face of Todd Hamill, along with Tony Henderson. Hamill again throwing it before he really wanted to. Compton, nice job, actually kind of stopped to see if it was going to hit that net, because it would be a live ball off the net. Hey, at this point, Milwaukee will take anything.
Time for 1 or 2 more plays for Milwaukee. 11 seconds remaining. Rattler fans would like another stop. Andrews got a hand on it. Hamill has not seen, of the receptions, that completions tonight, he has not seen many of them because he's been flat on his back. That time, Brian Easter was on top of him.
David Andrews ends up on the outside of the wall, now having a discussion with one of the fans. These fans not afraid at all, and they're right there on it. Those first couple of rows of people, you're right in the action. You can go home bloody just like the players if you get too close.
They did it with D tonight. Final play of the game, Jeff Savage, touchdown, Milwaukee. Too little, too late for the Milwaukee Mustangs. That will do it as the Arizona Rattlers win at 46-29 and advance to the semifinals. The final score, Arizona 46, Milwaukee 29. Later tonight on ESPN2 at midnight, more playoff action as the New Jersey Red Dogs take on the Orlando Predators. Coming up next is Baseball Tonight. Highlights from all today's games as the pennant races heat up. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Once again, Arizona moving on to the semifinals. Good night, everyone.
Coming up on Baseball Tonight, Brad Radke goes for his 13th straight win against the red-hot David Will. First place Giant leader Pedro Martinez. And the Mariners bullpen makes